Alright, Shalom. It's your brother Yarash Shema from the GMS Champaign and Lloyd branch. For all things, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakwadash. Alright, I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and salutations to the Akim that's pushing this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Alright, Shalom. And just this clip gonna be from the brothers of the brother page Arrows of One Nigga Nation 144. And I got two other clips that I want to go into just to prove that the Lord is working, man, and he's revealing the truth, all right, that has went so long without having recognition. People are starting to come back into the truth, and that the Bible, it's 100% facts, man. For so long, we've been under the rulership of these heathens, all right, and their philosophies and their train of thought has taught the people, all right, to discredit the Bible. But now everything is coming out, man. That what you can't do nothing against the truth but for it. So I'm gonna play some of this.
That were at the bottom of the ocean. Picture of Mount Everest. At the top of this picture is fossilized seashells that were at the bottom of the ocean. Now, why is this important? This shows that the highest mountain peak, the highest mountaintop, at one point in time was submerged underwater. It gives a timestamp of something that occurred where everything at the highest height was underwater. Why is this important? Because this echoes back to the Bible. All around the world, all different cultures have these same delusions or great floods over the entire world, documented. And in the Bible it's documented that God caused a great flood. He opened up the fountains of the deep. He rained 40 days and 40 nights. Doesn't this make sense that the water would go so high that it would put the mountains underneath the water? And as the water came down, there were things that were in the ocean, crustaceans.
All right, so this just proved what? The flood, man. All right, because a lot of people presume that the flood is something like make-believe. When you go into the history, all right, almost every ancient civilization has an account of it. All right, now they might say the cause. All right, this is what jumbles people up in the modern day, because they'll say that the cause of the flood was from this God or this way, or because of this happened. All right, but a common story of a flood is in all ancient societies, man. All right, they telling this story, but the Bible is telling you exactly what happened, man. All right, it's coming out, man. Everything brothers have been saying for years and years, the truth is being brought forth now. All right, but people still believe in Big Bang theory, evolution theory, all these things, all these philosophies and ways that Esau has put out, man. All right, being under his grass. This is how he gained control of the earth, all right, through war, all right, but in propaganda, through lying, through deceiving. All right, the scriptures say that he shall deceive the nations. So I'm gonna grab this real quick. Habakkuk 2:5. It says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine. All right, so his wine, his philosophies, right, his way of thought, all right, has confused every damn body, man. And you can see how the world is all jumbled up. It says, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and as death. All right, now all right, when you go to the church, you never hear these type of scriptures come out, because they can't tell you who is that proud man who neither keepeth at home. All right, they can't pinpoint in the world who that's talking about, but the prophets can, man. Right? This is speaking about the Edomites, right? Going everywhere, conquering everything, and then putting their, all right, their way of thought on people, all right? It says, and his desire as hell, and his death, and cannot be satisfied. That's the spirit of the white man, or the so-called white man. He can never be satisfied no matter how much he gets. It says, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. And that's Esau Edom, man. That's why when you look at America, it is known as a melting pot, all right? As you call it, because there's so many different cultures and nationalities and races all in one, all right? All in one society, all right? That's why the scriptures call this place ancient Babylon. You go into the word Babylon, what it means, confusion. And this place has everybody confused, man. So I ain't gonna play all of that clip. You brothers can watch that on your own time. You know, finish that out. I want to grab something else real quick. Let me grab it real quick. Shalaki, bear with me. I was just looking at it before. Shalaki, bear with me, Aki. Matter of fact, pause it and I'll have it back. Alright, I'm back, Aki. I found the video. Shalaki, I was doing it on my other phone, so I didn't have it on go on this phone. See this from what's the name of this channel? Was that Pints? Okay, Matt Fraud. All right, Matt Fraud, whoever that is, I don't know. Found this little clip and it just, all right, it just bringing out the truth, man. All right, Psalm 64, and matter of fact, I'm gonna grab it since it just came to my head. Here, bear with me. I ain't have all this set up right. Shalakia for that Akim. Here it is, 64:8, Psalm 64:8. So that they shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Right? So their own tongue is falling upon themselves. Meaning that's where you got whistleblowers, all these people who expose the truth, right? Because hey, for so long, why do you think so many people don't believe in the Bible? Because we live under an Edomite society that's geared towards discrediting the Bible. So, right, because in ancient times this wasn't a thing that everybody just disbelieved the scriptures. You Israelites, all right, but now living under this devil, right? He's discredited the Bible and people. So, but now their own tongue is falling upon themselves. You have these people revealing these things, man. It's coming out. All right. So I'm gonna play some of this right
data.
now.
So this archaeological session I wander in, I start listening, and as I'm listening to this presentation for about 45 minutes, near the end of it, I began to realize, oh my gosh, these people presenting think that they have found the biblical cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what they're saying in a really roundabout, really understated way. So at the end of the presentation, they stop the presentation and they open up for questions, and they describe these two city mounds that they had found on the Jordanian side of the Jordan River, and in this destruction layer, and so on. And so I raised my hand immediately, and I said, well, did you find any arrowheads? The reason I asked that, Matt, is when you have a destruction layer of an ancient city, if you find arrowheads in the destruction layer, it means that an army caused the destruction and they were shooting arrows at the defenders and blah, 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 blah. If you find a destruction layer and there aren't arrowheads, that means an army did not destroy the city, and then probably it was some kind of natural event, right? So I'm curious, like, right, these two cities that you guys think are Sodom and Gomorrah. And so the researcher starts to get very bashful when I ask this question. He says, well, I didn't really want to go there, but all I want to say while we're recording this session is that it was a heat event. And there's like 20 other people in the room, and we're like looking at each other.
All right, so if you're not informed, all right, Sodom and Gomorrah was what? Destroyed by fire and brimstone that rained from the heavens. All right, so they saying that the cities that they think they may have found to be Sodom and Gomorrah, they looked and said, hey, this place was actually destroyed by fire. You know, so hey, but people think that the Lord is people think that the Lord is not real, man. You people gonna see, man. All right, you people gonna see. Hey, Esau Edom has everybody in a trick bag, man. Let me grab this 2 Thessalonians 2. I'm gonna start at 2 and 9. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. So this he's deceived the whole world with his lies, man. All right. He has the power of Satan. When you go into what Satan is, the adversary, all right, the deceiver, the devil. The word devil just means deceiver, all right, and that's what he's done to the whole world. It says, verse 10, and with all his deceivableness of unrighteousness, and them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. All right, it says, for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. All right, so everybody is for the most part, except for the elect, who's going to come back. They fell into the trap of Esau lies, man. All right, they fell into the trap of that. All right, I'm grab this real quick. Shalaki, bear with me. All right, so this another video right here from Pastor Mark Driscoll page, I believe how you pronounce that. And just real quick. I seen this actually like a year or two ago. About a year ago, I think I ran into this video. And yeah, hey, it just let you know. This just lets you know, because at the same time, this devil is telling you that none of these things are true, that none of these things are in the Bible have any evidence, and behind the scenes, he's secretly searching out these things. He's secretly looking for the covenant. He's secretly looking for the stone tablets of the commandments. All right, he secretly has documents looking for these biblical holy items, man. As he tells the world it's a lie and it's make believe.
Show that the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, they say they located the chest containing the original 10 commandments, the tablets of the 10 commandments, the Ark of the Covenant. The documents, the CIA documents, reveal that in 1988, the CIA used experimental intelligence methods known as remote viewing to confirm the Ark's existence, saying it was somewhere in the Middle East. Imagine that. Good job, CIA. Hidden underground, dark and wet. Where else would it be? And protected by, listen, a use of a power unknown to us.
Yeah, this was a wild story that came out. And they said that it was basically, they were using like psychics and mediums and clairvoyance to try and get data that would kind of be like a spy that doesn't travel to another country, but somehow works through some sort of, other reality to get information and data. And is this possible? It is. Oftentimes it can be demonic. If you think about it, there is an unseen realm with spirit beings, and they're in places.
You in that right there with him. But when you dealing with these elites, they deal with the left hand side of things, man. They conjure up things, all right. They do rituals. All right, a lot of your holidays and things go into their witchcraft. All right, so but I remember watching this video where it elaborated more, and when they went to look to see where the covenant was at, they said that it was deities around it that stopped anybody from anybody who wasn't supposed to be there. All right, so angels. And these are this is what I'm just like, people will hear this and just be like, whatever, that's crazy. These are CIA documented, classified documents, man. All right, this is something that actually went on, man. But people still believe a delusion. So I'm gonna grab this and end it with this scripture. To see this, you know that the Lord is dealing with you on some type of level, man. And it's time to lock in and, you know, appreciate and really home in on, because things are about to get serious out here, man. Matthew 13:11. I'm gonna start at 10. And he said, and the disciples came unto him and said, why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. All right, this is Yahushua speaking. But to them it is not given. All right. So, hey, the Lord has blessed us to have eyes to see and ears to hear, man. Right? You have to, you know, be grateful for that and really, you know, hone in on that gift. All right. So I'm in that right there. And Lord willing, this was edifying for the elect's sake. So with that, I'm going to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles of the great millstone. Until next time, Akim Shalom.